Hi everyone, I am Deepthi from Team K21 Academy. I welcome you all to this video, and in this video we'll be covering everything you need to know about the AWS Certified Machine Learning Specialty Examination, that is MLS-C01. So where you can find this reference guide, like let me guide you through it. So you'll be able to find the AWS ML Specialty Labs and Theory course on your classroom. So click on that and there will be a start here module, and you can just click on this drop down and you'll be able to find everything that you need to know about the MLSC01, and you can just click on this, and the video which I am recording right now will be updated here once it is ready. Now you can click on this reference guide, so that will be redirected to the document about where we have everything that we need to know. Whether you're just starting your journey into the machine learning or looking into validate your expertise, this video will cover everything that you need to know to successfully prepare for your examination and also pass with confidence. We will be covering the key areas that you need to focus on, and also we will be covering the study materials and the commonly asked questions. As you can see here in the content, that we'll be learning or understanding about the exam structure. So there are four main domains. We'll discuss each one of them, and also we'll be discussing about the practice tests. So once your preparation is done, how you can utilize the practice test. We'll also cover the FAQs, like which are of non-technical and also technical. So we have both kind of FAQs, so we'll cover all those things. And then at last, we do have the module-wise agenda and the hands-on labs, which will be helping you in preparing for your examination. And also we have the related references to you from K21 Academy and also from AWS references. So we'll discuss everything one by one. So we have a image here. So this image maps out the AWS certifications like a learning ladder for different skill levels. So at the foundational level, um, we have this is like a stepping into the world of AWS. So these certifications like cloud practitioner and AI practitioner will boost up your basic knowledge on the AWS, and particularly the AI practitioner will help you build a solid base on the AI concepts and moving up with the associate level. So at this level, um, you can start applying for your skills with certifications like machine learning engineer, beta, which builds up the hands-on ML knowledge. Finally, coming to the specialty, so we have the ML specialty certification. This we are going to discuss about the same certification. This is where you can master advanced topics like machine learning specialty certification, demonstrating the deep expertise in the ML workflows and also AWS. So think of it as a journey, starting simple, growing practical, and also becoming an expert in the specialty level of certifications. As we already know, the AWS Certified Machine Learning Specialty Exam is also known as MLS C01, which is a certification designed for professionals who want to validate their expertise in the machine learning and also the AI using the AWS services. So it's perfect for those who are looking to showcase their ability to design, build, and also optimize the ML solutions within the AWS ecosystem. And at the professional level, we have two certifications. One is solution architect, and also the other one is DevOps engineer. So this is all we are learning about the machine learning specialty certification throughout this video. Now let's focus on understanding the exam structure. So this is exam is the ML specialty exam is a certification which is offered by the AWS, and it covers the key areas like data engineering concepts, exploratory data analytics, and also model training and hyperparameter tuning. And you will be morely focusing on how you can create a scalable, cost optimized, and secure ecosystems within the, sorry, secure solutions within the AWS ecosystem. This exam has four domains and also the exam weightages. Let's discuss about this. So first, in the domain one, we have the data engineering concepts which are covered 20% for this examination. This covers how to prepare, store, and also manage the data for machine learning. And the domain 2, which is exploratory data analytics, which contributes 24% to the exam. This involves analyzing and visualizing the data to gain the insights and also to make it ready for modeling. Then comes the module 3, which is modeling, which contributes the highest percentage to the examination, that is 36%. So this is the biggest part of exam, which focuses on training the models and selecting the algorithms and fine-tuning the performance through the hyperparameter tuning. And then we have the machine learning implementation and operations, which is of 20%, and this is where you'll be learning about how you can deploy the models, how you can monitor them, and how you can manage their life cycle securely and cost efficiently. Now that we have covered the overall exam structure, that is the four domains, now let's dive into the domain one in detail, which is all about the data engineering, and this covers 20% of the examination. This domain will mainly focus on everything which is related to the data preparation from storing data to processing it for the machine learning. Here is the breakdown that we need to know. We'll be going through the create data repositories for machine learning. So this is about where and how your data will be stored. Firstly, you will identify your data sources like user data or sensor data and their location. You'll be choosing the best storage solution for the job. For example, let's say we have the Amazon S3, which is ideal for storing the large sets of images and audio files. Imagine you have thousands of images or the product images for the recommendation model. In that case, you can use the Amazon S3. And then we have the Amazon EFS, so which is great for storing the sharing files across multiple EC2 instances. It if you're working with the collaborative models or sharing data sets across compute nodes, EFS is good to go. And we also have the Amazon EBS. So it is best for the high performing workloads. If you are training a model or um, if you want the high throughput transactional data, EBS will provide you the speed and also performance that you need. So this is how you can choose your databases based on the data that you are ingesting. Next, we'll be learning about the implement data ingestion solution. So this is where you'll learn how you can bring your data into the pipelines, and this could involve two main types of workloads. One is the batch processing, and the other one is the real-time streaming. So these are the two uh, data job styles or the data job types, we can say. So batch processing, like let me highlight this. Batch processing, like you process large amounts of data at scheduled intervals. For instance, you may batch process customer behavior data or like every night to update the recommendation system. That is where the batch processing comes into picture. And then we have the real-time streaming. So data flows continuously and it is processed as it arrives. Imagine streaming IoT sensor data and also the real-time ML model for the predictive maintenance. So in that case, we can use the real-time streaming. So to do this, we can use the Amazon services like Amazon Kinesis, Amazon Data Firehose, EMR, Glue, and also manage services for Apache Flink for both batch and real-time streaming workloads. You can also use the Amazon Glue and also the Amazon Glue to schedule the daily ETL jobs. And finally, we'll learn about implementing the data transformation solution. So this is all about preparing the data for machine learning models. So this is where you use the ETL processes and also in like to extract the data, transform, and also load the data. So we will be using the AWS Glue, EMR, and also the AWS Batch. These are the commonly used services for all these kind of tasks. For managing the ML specific data using the MapReduce technologies, we use services like Apache Hadoop, Apache Spark, and also Apache Hive. So if you want me to give an example about this, like a simple example for AWS Glue, EMR, and AWS Batch, and the Apache Hadoop and Apache Spark, like we can just discuss a small example. Let's say you can use the Apache Spark and Amazon EMR for large scale data transformation, such as aggregating the huge data sets to train a machine learning model. And you can use the AWS Glue and also ETL processes for simple CSV data to like converting the CSV data into a more efficient format like Paraquet for faster querying and analytics. So these tools ensure your data is clean and also structured and ready for the analysis. So about all these you'll be learning in the domain 1, that is data engineering concepts. Moving on with the domain 2, that is exploratory data analysis, which is of 24% for the examination. This domain is about, let's say, cleaning, transforming, and preparing the data for machine learning. So let's break down these into steps. First comes the prepare data for modeling. So before feeding the data into a model, you need to ensure that it's clean and also the data is well prepared. So you will be handling the missing or the corrupt data. So missing data can be filled with the statistical measures like mean, median, or it can be removed if it is like too sparse. You will also be eliminating the stop words. So in the text data, you can remove the common words like the and that don't provide much insight to the models. So you can remove all that words. And then coming to the format, and normalize and augment and scale the data. So you will be ensuring all the features are in the same format. You'll also normalize the numerical values and scale the features for consistency. That is what you'll be doing under this section, sorry, in this domain. And also we have ensuring the sufficient label data and using the tools like Amazon Mechanical Turk and also for data labeling if necessary. So this if your data set lacks the labeled data, you might use the Amazon Mechanical Turk for data labeling tasks. Now, coming to the second subdomain, that is performing the feature engineering. This involves creating of the new features from the data sets like speech, images, and also the public sources. So to improve the model performance, you'll be extracting the features. This could involve extracting of the text features like word count, image features, um, like let's say color histograms, and also the time-based features like day of the week. And also we'll be extracting or binning, this is nothing but converting the continuous data into the categories. For example, let's say ages can be grouped into certain ranges, like let's say 18 to 25 and 26 to 35. So we can make a group of certain ages. So that is what the binning means. We also have the tokenization and handling outliers, creating synthetic features, and there is one hot encoding. So this is nothing but converting the categorical variables into the binary column. So for example, converting the color feature with values red, green, and also blue into three categories for machine learning, which will be easy for our model to identify. And also we have the handling outliers. So let me explain you about this. So this outliers can distort model. So you can remove extreme values or apply the techniques like log formation or log transformation using this handling outliers. And coming to the next, that is dimensionality, which we haven't discussed yet. This can reduce the number of features, for example, using the principal component analysis, which is PCA. And now let's discuss about visualizing the data for the machine learning. So data visualization helps you to understand the patterns, distributions, and also relationship between the data. You'll be creating the graphs, like you can use the scatter plots, time series, histograms, or box plots to visualize your data. And then to interpret the statistics, you can look for the correlation or the summary statistics or p-values to understand the p-values. And then you can use the cluster analysis. You can use the techniques like hierarchical clustering or elbow plots to identify the natural grouping in your data. So that is all about the domain 2. And we have the module 3, which is contributing a large amount to the exam, that is 36%. So this is where the magic happens. So in this section, you'll be learning about how to frame the business problems as a machine learning problems, and also you can choose a right models to train them, optimize their performance, and evaluate their performance for the ML models. Let's break down this into some steps, the key areas that we need to focus on. First one is framing business problems as ML problems. So when approaching any problem, first ask, is this a machine learning problem? You need to know when to apply the machine learning. So for that, we'll be learning the supervised and unsupervised learning. We'll also see how we can choose the models based on the classification, regression, forecasting, and clustering models. So coming to the supervised, if you have labeled the data, for example, predicting the customer churn or classifying emails as spam or not, you'll be using the supervised learning. And then under the unsupervised learning, if you do not have the labels and you're trying to find the patterns, for example, clustering the customers based on their behavior, in that cases, you can use the unsupervised learning. Now let's see about selecting the appropriate models for the ML problems. If your goal is to predict the categories, like think it is a if the email is spam or not, you can use the cluster classification models. And also if your goal is to predicting the continuous values, for example, what will be the sales next month, you can use the regression models. And also you can use the clustering models, that is the k-means clustering. So this is a clustering model. You can use this kind of models to group the similar data points, for example segmenting the customers by their behavior or their by their feedback. So if it is a positive feedback, we can group into one, and if it is a negative feedback, we can group them into another group. So this is how we can use the clustering model. And also there is a recommendation models like Netflix recommendation system, suggesting the items or the movies based on the user preferences or the previous behavior of the user. For specific tasks, you will be choosing the right algorithm like XBoost for classification for and k-means for clustering. So all these kinds of models can be used for predicting the data. And also it will be view in this particular domain, you'll also be learning about reasoning behind the model choices. And then we have training the ML models. Here you will be splitting the data into training and validation sets and using the cross validation. So you use the training and the validation sets here to avoid the overfitting. You can also cross-validate the model so that you can see your model is generalized well, and also you can optimize the training using the techniques like gradient descent, and also adjust loss functions for convergence. And you'll be using the appropriate compute resources like GPU or CPU, and on the distributed and non-distributed platforms like Spark and non-Spark, you'll also see how you can perform the batch or the real-time retraining. Now let's optimize the model. Like tuning hyperparameters is very crucial. So we have the regularization techniques here. So these techniques like dropout and L1/L2 regularization can help you to prevent the overfitting. And also there is a tree-based models like number of trees and levels. So This adjusts the settings like number of trees, their depth to find the best model configuration. And also we have understanding the neural networks where you can fine tune the parameters like layers, nodes, and learning rate, etc. So all these you can do in the neural networks for improving the activation functions and also improving the accuracy of your model. And then we also have the adjust linear models for knowing the learning rates. Finally, we'll see how we can evaluate our ML model and how well it performs. So coming to the metrics first, like we will be evaluating the metrics. So there are key metrics to evaluate, include the accuracy and also precision, recall, all these kind of attributes for the classification models. And also you have the bias and the variance to avoid the overfitting or underfitting of the data, where you need to strike a balance between the bias and also the variance. And then we have the confusion matrix here, where we can interpret the confusion matrices. So this will help us to understand the true positives, true negatives, and also false negatives in our model. And then we also have the cross validation. We can perform the cross validation. So it is important for you to test the model on unseen data and also ensure that it's very robust. And we have the comparing models like using the metrics like training time, quality, engineering costs, etc. So all these can be learned in the evaluating your ML models. And finally, we are here in the domain 4, that is machine learning interpretation, and also the operations, which is of 20% for the exam. And in this section, we'll be covering about how you can deploy and maintain the machine learning models at scale. So it also mainly focuses on performance, security, and cost management and operationalization. So let's dive in. First thing here is building the ML solutions for robust performance. So you'll be using the services like Cloud Trail and also the Cloud Watch for tracking the API activity, and also for you'll be using the Cloud Watch to monitor the application performance. It's like your personal dashboard for keeping the track of all your ML models. Then we have the error monitoring solutions. So these implement solutions to capture the errors in the real time. So think of this like setting up the alerts when something goes wrong. And then we have the multiple regions and availability zones where you can deploy the models across multiple regions and also in the different availability zones to improve the fault tolerance and also the availability. For a quick example, so if one region goes down, the model would be still available to the others in the different region or in the different availability zone. You can also create the AMIs for backup and also the golden images where you can easily replicate your ML environment. So think of it as saving a template for your machine learning setup. And then we have the Docker containers where you can deploy your models or where you can deploy your models in the Docker containers for consistent environment and also portability. So this is essential for scaling models across multiple systems. And then we have the auto scaling where it like automatically adjusts the capacity based on the traffic or the incoming traffic. And we have the right size resources instances providing the IOPS and also the volumes, and load balancing for managing the traffic or like distributing the traffic across different containers, or you can say different uh, machine learning models or the instances where it is deployed. And you'll be following the AWS best practices for all these things. Also, we'll try to implement the appropriate ML services and features. So, you'll be utilizing the services like Amazon Poly, Amazon Lex, and also Amazon Transcribe, Amazon Q, like for transcribing for text speech, or using Amazon Lex for chatbots and Amazon Poly for text speech. So you'll be using all these service ML services, and you also can understand the Amazon service quotas under this particular domain. You'll also learn how you can determine the custom models versus SageMaker built-in algorithms. A quick tip here, so you can use the SageMaker if you want faster and fully managed solutions instead of custom models. And you'll also be learning about um, the spot instances and how you can manage the cost. So you can use the spot instances with AWS Batch. Uh, like let's say if you want to train a deep learning model, spot instances are very cheaper. But remember, they can be terminated by the AWS. So that's they are best for non-time or non-time sensitive jobs. So if you are dividing or if you are training your models in batch process or batch wise, so you can use these spot instances to reduce the costs. And we'll also be applying the AWS security practices where you can implement the IAM policies, you can set up the S3 bucket policies, and you can also configure the security groups and utilize the virtual CPUs or sorry, virtual private clouds, and you can do the data encryption and anonymization, which is very important. And coming to the deploy and operationalize the ML solutions, here you will be having to expose and interact with the endpoint. So you'll expose your ML models via the endpoints so they can be accessed for the real-time predictions. And also you'll understand about the ML models, how you can manage them. So continuously managing your models by retraining them when needed and monitored their performance. And also you can conduct the A/B testing. This is a testing to compare the different versions of your models and determine which one performs the best. And you can also refrain the pipelines as needed. So you can set up the automated refraining pipeline so that you can ensure your models um, remain accurate over the time as the new data comes in. And also you'll learn about how you can debug and troubleshoot the models continuously so that they can like the performance don't drop and the performance will be best throughout the training, and also you can troubleshoot them whenever it is needed. So till now we have successfully completed the understanding of the exam structure, and we have also discussed about each domain in detail. Now, to prepare efficiently for the AWS Certified Machine Learning Specialty exam, one of the best thing that you can do is to take the practice test. So you can just go through the link that is given here and click on this. You'll be redirected to the exam questions or the practice tests. So we have four sets here. So you can just click on one of them and click on this link, but practice exam QA1. So these are the question. So you have question number one and also options and the correct answer. We have given the options and also the correct answer to each of the questions, and there is also an explanation and the reference that is provided. If you are not aware of the concepts, you can just go to this reference materials and learn about it. So we have all the four exam practice question sets, so you can go through all of them. And let me just close this. And now as once the practice tests are done, like you can also go through the FAQ. So we have added non-technical QA and also technical. So if you have any queries related to the technical, you can just go through these questions. And also for non-technical QA, there are a few questions like, is this certification worth it? Yes, definitely it's worth it because you'll be learning about or you'll be expertising in the services which we have already discussed. Like you can become a machine learning expert on the AWS platform. So this certification is definitely worth it. And there is also a target audience who can focus on this. So technical professionals or experienced ML practitioners. There are also few recommended knowledge or the skill sets to be a ML specialty certified. So you can also go through these questions that are given here. So all these are technical and non-technical questions. So let's also go through the technical. So here you can learn about what are key components of ML development lifecycle. So what is generative AI and how you can secure the AI systems in AWS. So all these kind of questions are provided here. Now let's discuss about the module-wise agenda and the hands-on labs, which will be a very important guide or a learning pathway to know about all these things for to prepare for your exam. And you can also go through this blog which is given here where you can find all the labs that you need to perform for preparing the ML's learning like ML specialty certification. So coming to the module 1 under the data engineering, you'll be learning about the data engineering S3, VPC endpoints, Kinesis, Glue, Athena, and also all the AWS data related services. And the hands-on labs which comes under this module 1 is analyzing the CSV data in S3 with Amazon Athena, and also you'll be learning about S3 lifecycle management, which is very important for cost optimization. And also you'll be learning about how you can create the Kinesis data firehose, how you can run the data analytics using the Kinesis, and how you can create the AWS Glue data catalog and also run the ETL job using the Glue. So all these labs you'll be performing under the module 1. And coming to the module 2, which is data analytics. You'll be learning about data analytics, Python in data science, data types, and QuickSight, EMR, feature engineering, and SageMaker. So all these services will be covered in the module 2. And also there is one hands-on lab that is preparing data for TF-IDF using the PySpark and also the EMR. And we have the machine learning fundamentals in the module 3 where you'll be learning the fundamentals of the machine learning, and these you'll be performing the hands-on labs. We also have the machine learning and SageMaker in the module 4. So you'll be learning about different types of models and services that you can use to perform or to train these models. And these are the hands-on labs which comes under the module 4. And under the module 5, we have the high level ML services like the Amazon Comprehend, Amazon Transcribe, Recognition Forecast, and Amazon Forecast Algorithms, Amazon Lex, and also Amazon Personalize. And these are the hands-on labs which comes under this particular module. And in the module 6, where we'll be learning about ML ops, you can learn about SageMaker on Edge and SageMaker security, SageMaker resource management, and ML ops. And the labs which comes under this module are tuning, deploying, and predicting with TensorFlow on SageMaker and tuning the convolutional neural network on EC2. And under Module 7, you'll be learning about these topics, and these are the hands-on labs. Like you'll be learning about tokenization and positional encoding using the SageMaker. You'll also learning about how you can jumpstart to load your GPT from Hugging Face. And you'll also be learning about how you can build a Bedrock agent and how you can work with action groups, knowledge bases, and guardrails. And you'll also learn about querying and RAG system with the Bedrock. And this are the services that we'll be learning in the module 8. So this is a module-wise agenda for your learnings. And here are a few related references from the K21 Academy. This is the blog which I have showed you earlier, where you can find all the labs in one place. And this is all about the ML certification. So let me just click on this. This is about the machine learning specialty certification, where you can find all the details about certification. So you can also go through this blog. And coming to the AWS references, so this is the reference from the AWS for the ML learning specialty certification. So this is the official page where you can find every detail about the ML specialty certification from AWS. And also we have given an exam guide link which is from the official AWS website, and this is a Skill Builder, where you have free and the paid resources for preparing for ML specialty certification, and these are the exam prep official practice questions.
Thank you so much for staying with us till the end of the video. Now all you have to do is just click the link in the description below, or if you are just starting out, just type k21academy.com/AWS 02. Now, in this page you can enter your name, enter email ID, enter phone number, and click on book your free seat now. Then you will be taken to a thank you page. Now you can add this session to your Google Calendar or Apple Calendar, and I promise this is something that you don't want to miss. So go ahead, click on the link and step into the world where learning knows no boundaries. Till then, keep enjoying. I'll see you in the next video.